G'day all you mad gamers, I'm Mad Mikey and I come from the land down under where beer does flow and men chunder. And in today's gaming news opinions, we're going to be talking about how EA Games is putting all of its money in the bank on FIFA 18 on its Nintendo Switch and may very well play a deciding factor on whether they're going to support the console or not. Sweary is back. And I guess no one knows what that guy's doing anymore, but he's got some news up for us with a new game, along with Crash Bandicoot has got a bit more shtick coming behind an Xbox One release, and a game from the PS2 version is being re-released. All that in today's gaming news. And don't forget, it's not just gaming news, it's my opinion. Mad Mikey Gaming. What's up all you mad gamers, I'm Mad Mikey and welcome to today's episode of the Gaming News Opinions, the show where I just go around the interworld web and grab all that gaming news that there is out there and not only just report it but give my thoughts on the whole thing. And don't forget, it would be lovely if you gave us a thumbs up, it's really supportive, and like, well, we've already asked you to like, share and subscribe if you do like what I put out. I try and put it out every day. It's just not every day there is gaming news to have an opinion on. But let's get into today's first topic, which I said at the beginning, and it is that EA Games has come out and they've said quite a few things about what their future support is for the Nintendo Switch, and to be honest, it doesn't sound that good. Now, they were speaking with Edge Magazine, and EA Vice President Patrick Sunderland explained that we want to be part of the Switch and help Nintendo grow that install base. But at the same time, we have to look at it from a resource standpoint, and at some point, the numbers become a factor. So for us, it's supporting the platform, building technology for the platform, testing it out with the big things like FIFA, and maybe a couple of others. We'll see. And if they go well, I see no reason why we shouldn't have as much of our portfolio on that platform as possible. I hope we get there. That would be my own personal ambition. Now, EA just, it seems like they're doing the exact same thing that they did over on the Wii U. They put out FIFA, didn't sell that well, so then they just basically stopped all production of EA games on the Nintendo console. And it seems like they're doing the same thing. They're not just sort of trying with their sports, because they're only putting FIFA on there. They're not worried about NBA, they're not worried about NHL, they're not even worried about Madden this year. It just sounds like all it is on FIFA, which, to be fair, is their most popular game in their sporting library. It's a beloved sport across the world, not one of my personal favorites, but it obviously sells a lot. Now, the problem that I find here, and I think that there might be a bit of sabotage going on. Obviously, they didn't support the Wii U, which was part of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 / PS4 / Xbox One generation of things, and people have moved on. Like, Nintendo fans, if they've wanted to get their sporting game somewhere, they've gone somewhere else. So in terms of that, they've already bought their PlayStation 4 or their Xbox One of choice, and they're now actually going to be playing their sports games on there. So they've got the sales already there for the PS4 and the Xbox One, which leaves the Switch in a bit of limbo. And I'm a bit worried that the Nintendo Switch is going to run into the same problems that the Nintendo Wii U did. Not that it's it is underpowered, but not because it is underpowered, but because players have moved on. And with the success of the Nintendo Switch so far, it is a good thing. And the natural thing that a lot of people are doing is taking, oh, I wonder if this would be good on it. I wonder if that would be good on it. And to be fair, IGN have actually gone out and put out a video last week where they talked about the top 9 games that they wanted to see ported to the Nintendo Switch. And I'll just quickly go over it. Dark Souls 3, Resident Evil 7, Telltale Games Seasons, Hearthstone, the Ezio Collection, The Wonderful 101, Arkham Knight, South Park, and Final Fantasy 15. Now, I think that this is a terrible idea, to be honest, because the people that have already played these games have played them. They've bought them, they've either got rid of them, they've collected them. These old games, they've been sold. Probably the one exception in there would probably be Resident Evil 7. I wouldn't mind seeing Resident Evil 7. That is a current game that deserves to be on a current generation title. But for all those other games, they're just shooting themselves in the foot with that. It's just ridiculous to think that people would want to go back and play these games on a Nintendo Switch. Nintendo players have either adapted and have enjoyed the games that they've got on their Wii U, or they've moved on and bought a second console as well as their Nintendo. I just don't see any real point, because that's the same issue that happened with the Wii U. They re-released Assassin's Creed, Darksiders, all these games on there, Mass Effect even, and they didn't sell well, and they weren't even the complete games. Like Assassin's Creed 3 didn't even have all the DLC, although it may have. I think it did, I just didn't buy it. But Mass Effect didn't. It didn't have the complete game on there, and it's just ridiculous that EA, again, weren't supporting this console. I know, and again, as they said, it is a numbers, it's a money thing at the end of the day. But if they truly, EA are for the players, well, dude, you've got to put the game out for the players, you know? Obviously, you don't have to put out as many, but for them to put it all in on FIFA, I think they're going to fail. And I think we're going to run into the same problem that we did with the Wii U, unfortunately, because I just don't think EA has always had a history of doing this. They did it to the Dreamcast, which spawned off 2K games, and that's just... I think that they're stupid having this mentality. You can't just expect the first year to be the deciding factor. The Switch has already sold a lot more copies, or if not equal with what the Wii U sold for its whole console cycle. But we'll leave it at that. I'd love to know what your guys' opinions. Do you think that EA is just wasting their time doing this by sort of putting this sort of condition on it that if FIFA fails on the Nintendo Switch, we're not going to bother with anything else? Because you don't hear them talking about supporting with Battlefront or Call of Duty or anything else for this one. But let's move on to the next bit of gaming news today. And Sweary65, who is responsible for such weird and wacky, awesome games. I'm a big fan of this guy. He made Deadly Premonition, D4, Dark Dreams Never Die, and he's made a lot of crazy games, and I love it. And he's disappeared for a while since D4 came out, which was supposed to be an episodic game. So they gave, I think it was the first 3 episodes, but it didn't end, and I was so pissed off about this, guys. I really wanted to continue this game. It was a Kinect game, but you could play it with a controller, but the controller was really hard, but then the Kinect was really hard, and it was just doomed to fail at that point. But he has come out saying that over at PAX Seattle this year, he's going to be talking about a brand new game. What it is, no one knows. The guy is freaking weird. This is what he posted. Coffee time with Sweary65. How I design games. What I get inspiration from. Why I became a monk. I told you he's weird. And at the end, I'll announce my first new game in 3 years. The first since D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die. I will have a cup of coffee at the talk, so please bring a cup of coffee as well. When you first come up and ask me a question, I'll ask you what kind of coffee you like. I don't care who you are. If you don't love coffee, if you don't like coffee like I love coffee, I'll ask you to leave, pending policy approval from PAX management. So he's going to be a panelist, and he's going to start talking about it. I love that this guy's games are just so different. I know it's a bit of a cult following out there, but yeah, I'm quite interested to see what he's going to do. Very bummed that Microsoft didn't continue on with the D4 game, but hey, that's how you go, isn't it, sometimes? Next up, we've got a bit more rumblings, and it seems to be a release date for Crash Bandicoot over on the Xbox One. There has been an update where a retailer has now added a page listing for the Xbox One version of the Crash trilogy, and it looks like the listing is suggesting December 8th, just before Christmas, when it's sort of dead in the game industry. This will be really good for Xbox One owners. I myself only just started playing Crash on the PlayStation 4 last night, and I totally suck at this game. But I love the fact that this is doing so well, and I hope that it does do more. And obviously being on more consoles means that it's going to keep doing better. No word on the Switch just yet, but I'm just glad that this is going to be making its way over to the Xbox One. And in the last bit, as I said, there's a game that's going to be re-released. So Okami, which was originally a PlayStation 2 game, which then got ported digitally over to the PlayStation 3 as a HD remake, is now been announced that is coming to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 on December 12 this year. So you can see a lot of these remake games are coming out just so that they can get a bit of that Christmas cash. And I think that's all it is, to be honest. I don't understand why we keep getting all these remakes. Guys, we just want new games. We want newly inspired. There's no word of whether it's going to be a physical or whether it's just going to be a digital title. I think that this is just crappy. And apparently there's no ports to the Nintendo Switch. I don't want the Nintendo Switch to be a port box. I want them to innovate, which Nintendo do, but Nintendo seem to be the only ones wanting to innovate in any way. But enough of my ramblings. That's it for today's gaming news opinions, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Put down in the comment sections down below what opinions you've got about this. Obviously, I was a bit passionate about the whole EA Nintendo Switch thing, so sorry if I rambled on a bit longer on that one. But guys, I will see you hopefully tomorrow with some more gaming news opinions. But until then, hope you have a great night gaming, and I will see you when I see you. Bye, guys.